Yes, this is part of the delegation heading towards the vicinity of the Charlotte Valley estate, commonly known as the Gwenville Estate, in the Rosersville constituency, NEWTOWN district. We're embarking upon a fact-finding mission to have a sense as to the variety of possibilities which exist within that particular area, specifically, or more particularly pertaining to housing stock and also road development. So this is basically an introduction. The very wide expanse of land which historically people of the community has been showing tremendous interest in. I've spoken to far reps after far reps over many years as far as it pertains to examining prospects for its development. Many promises have been made, many demands have been made from the constituents, but thus far absolutely no relaxation has taken place as far as those so-called plans are concerned. So basically, this is the mission. Members of the party include myself, Colin, Baptiste, Oliver St. John, community leader, and DUNSTAN MAGGIE Peters, a young, vibrant entrepreneur in the community. Later, we're expected to be joined by Leroy John Baptiste, who amongst us appears to be more familiar with that particular Gwenville, Charlotte Valley estate. Well, the last time I've been there was 21 years ago, after Hurricane David. And here we have Mr. Oliver St. John, who will give us a sense as to the Charlotte Valley development and his own ideas as far as how he thinks that particular property can be developed.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Baptiste. Let me say I am pretty much familiar with that area, maybe not as familiar as some other persons locally are. However, I use the word pretty much familiar in the sense that I have had the privilege or the opportunity of walking this area on 2 occasions on the request of central government at the time, and that was to look at the possibility of doing some road development here with two aspects in mind. One, for the purposes of incorporating the road development or the road network, as it were, to tie in with the prospects or the proposed housing development in this area. And the second component was to look at the possibility of creating, as part of that road network, an escape route in the event there were to be some major disaster in the Evanston, Judell, Fortney area, and possibly NEWTOWN, whereby people could now use that additional route to get into the Reigate Kingsville area for free flow of traffic whilst whatever disaster, God forbid, that may have taken place or occurred in the NEWTOWN, Fortney, Judell area. So therefore, in that context, I am using the word pretty much familiar. And I did that on 2 separate occasions I indicated earlier with the in my company then was Mr. Reginald Shillingford, who owns part of the Reigate Estate, some of which we would have had to use or encroached upon. The other person was Mr. Petronel Green, who was then Chief Technical Officer in the Ministry of Communication and Works, and then the Senior Engineer at the Public Works Department, Mr. Vernon Martin. I was then in that capacity as Mechanical Superintendent of the Public Works Department. So I have in fact done some walking in here and in seeking to determine the best approach and what sort of possibilities that exist for the development of road infrastructure insofar as the Charlotte Valley development is concerned.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Oliver St. John. Tremendous resource in the community. And Dunstan, Peters, basically that's the background. That's a backyard. You have done a lot of stuff there, you know, like so many of NEWTOWN youths. You know, so what is your own impression as to, you know, what have you been hearing over the years in terms of Gwenville, Charlotte Valley estate development?
Well, as a youth, I've been running through there all the time, you know, getting mangoes and all kind of fruits and stuff. And I know where it is. Yeah, you know, I know where it's a place well established, and the whole community knows it. And I've been hearing that, you know, about the development and aspect of it, and you know, and other stuff. But nothing's been done, and I see to myself that it's a good, you know, it could become a good community, additional to what we already have, you know, to help out the bayside. You know, if all the houses on the bayside, we see the hurricane vibes and all the sea washing away people's houses. It would be a nice place, you know, to have a nice gated community to add to the whole NEWTOWN vibes, you know. But so far, and nothing happening. So we're just checking it out and bring it to the public, let the rest of the public know what's up.
Well, basically, over the past many years, you know, quite a lot of us, you know, every Harlemite, you know, people from Kingshill, which is, you know, I consider Kingshill to be a natural extension of the NEWTOWN Harlem community. It's the highest point in NEWTOWN as far as I'm concerned, because every original person from the Kingshill area shares biological and other sentimental links with the people of NEWTOWN. So it's basically an initiative which we think ought to be looked at quite seriously. We are very much privileged to have the resource of Mr. Oliver St. John, a highly respected member of the Harlem community, a true Harlemite. And you have Mr. Dunstan Peters, who basically exists within the epicenter of the community, and as a result, he is well positioned to feel the pulse of the people as far as that particular initiative is concerned. What we intend to embark upon is to look at the Gwenville, Charlotte Valley development, give some consideration to the prospects for development, especially of the housing stock, and as was stated by Mr. St. John, look at the possibility of, you know, road within the community, especially when one takes into consideration that the NEWTOWN road is an important iota, you know, moving people from the south of the island into other areas. And God forbid, if there is some kind of evacuation plan, having one road out of NEWTOWN, you know, that could really, you know, be quite disastrous. So we have to look at all of the possibilities. You know, as you could see within the area, it's lush, it's green. There's also ecotouristic, you know, potential in the area. So we're embarking upon an objective, sober, yet very important initiative aimed at creating a platform to stimulate public discourse as far as that particular matter is concerned. And we intend to do all of the necessary research that would help us put into perspective how best that particular facility can be developed. So that is just part of many initiatives that we intend to embark upon as far as the Roseau constituency is concerned. We are not a group per se, we're just part of a natural movement of interested individuals, non-political, non-partisan, who look at the ways in which that the Roseau constituency can be put on a platform of national development. Okay, thank you very much.